This is the Fat Bois Anime Podcast. Hey, here we go, boys. Y'all ready?
We got episode week 2. What you guys got?
Week 2.
All right.
What do you guys want?
Let me just tell everybody what we're getting into today, and then we'll find out what kind of trash anime you've been watching. So today we're gonna be getting into top 5 duos of all time, and then we're gonna do a little versus matchup with Light versus Lelouch, Death Note versus Code Geass.
So what he's saying basically is these two are gonna throw out their trash list. I'm gonna critique it a little bit, and then I'm gonna drop you guys with the god tier level list on the best of all time. Who's better between Light and Lelouch? You guys know who to come to. You know who the go-to man is this podcast. I'm ready, man. I'm excited. I'm gonna roast you guys.
And since he doesn't even know Lelouch's name,
this guy's did he?
I think he's got trash already.
Did he just say Lelouch? That's
I
the
think
part
I did. Oh
Lelouch.
gosh, I'm already taking L's out here.
We ain't talking about Star Wars
It's
over
alright.
here.
We'll give him a pass because Tyler was. I think you probably just finished watching it, right? Or you're almost done.
Yeah.
Watching it. Code Geass.
Well, and see, I'm used to One Piece. After 800 episodes, it's pretty easy to remember people's names. So if I'm watching an anime that's less than 100 episodes, I'm like, what's their name? What's that guy's hair color?
And you binge watch it and like forget. You'll remember like the main character name, which you didn't. So. That's why I don't know if we should give him a pass. But I'm like, a lot of those side characters, I forget a lot binge watching. So you know what? We'll cut him some
especially
slack.
with all these Japanese names. Sometimes you mix them up, and if you binge watch like 2 or 3 animes in a weekend, there's no way I'm remembering all that.
Oh no, yeah, it's tough, especially if you're doing multiple in one. That's the tricky part. Oh, I got to give you guys the update. So remember how last week I talked to you guys about my Boxy Box, my snack box, and I was worried about it not shipping to my address. Me and the great update, bada bing, bada boom. Guess what we had? We had 2 shipped to it because I still had my old mailbox key. Opened up that mailbox. It had my snack box. And then in my new mailbox, they sent another snack. I'm just over here, man.
Anything good out that box you get?
I'm just raking it in. I don't know. Their chips. I don't know why I love their chips. Me and the lady love the chips. They had like it was like a soy sauce ginger like chip, and it was pretty good, delicious. Those like salty.
Did
ones
they
are
put
my
those
favorite.
pokey chocolate sticks in there?
Sometimes that one they haven't really, because these are like kind of like gourmet snacks almost that you don't see like really like at all in America. So you don't get too many of those little pokes at all. Pocky, I mean. But I have 2 boxes. I have one still. I ate the first.
Anthony, I figured out who you are. You're Chocho. You're Choji's daughter. No. She goes on a trip and all she packs is like 10 different bags of potato chips.
That's honestly, I mean, come on. First of all, when you think about like these animes, where are their food at? These guys be like on like week or month long trips, adventures, journeys, and their backpack's always small and they never have like where they're keep food
Unless
at.
you're Goku, you just go into a restaurant, you go off, and then you leave the tab for Mr. Roshi.
What are you guys watching this week? What episodes you get?
I was catching up a little bit on Black Clover.
This dude, man,
freaking
is
lost in the
garbage.
sauce out here.
We're looking for a new host.
We got Lelouch and we got the Black Bulls. Never heard of that one. Black
I'm
Bulls.
all like, bro,
everyone.
that last episode of Dragon Ball Square was fire. So a little bit of Black Clover.
Gosh.
Fire Force has been on point. Man, season 2's been fire. No pun intended. Still trying to grind through One Piece. I'm almost done with the fight between Katakuri and Luffy. So where I'm at right now.
I like saving up different animes. So I saved up the last part of My Hero and just watched that this weekend.
It's fun to see.
That Endeavor fight was legit.
Oh, man.
And they threw Natsu Dragmill in there as one of the somebody in the crowd.
You see that?
That was pretty awesome. I got hyped for that.
Man, that fight got me a little emotional, honestly. I think when animes do that, when they know this guy might lose right here, he might die. It always kind of hits you there. And you're like, Endeavor, man. First of all, I don't really like Endeavor because he's kind of a jerk, but then they kind of got you feeling for him. So I kind of held back some tears on that one, but that was
especially when they start doing all these flashbacks. You're like, oh,
that's
this guy's
what
gonna
I
die
thought.
right now.
But he came through. Man. My boy. I wouldn't even say my boy, but Endeavor, man, you know, respect to him now. I got some respect to him because then even like Shoko, man, it's like, you know what? I don't want him to die. Like, you know, turn it around, old man. That one just hit right there.
But I really like how they're not just focusing on the main characters, but showing some of the greats fight too. Thought that was pretty.
That might have been one of the best episodes of the whole year. I mean, that Endeavor Nobu fight was insane. Boy, don't question me.
You know why this guy's scrubbing? Because this guy hasn't watched Jujutsu Kaisen right now. If you watch this last episode of Jujutsu Kaisen, this thing was legendary, man. Talk about one of those episodes that gets you out of your seat, hyped up. My man Gojo he's a beast. You guys got to watch it, man. You guys got to tune in for that one. That one is legendary. It's going to be a legendary anime.
Okay, so I know I sound like a noob, but what can you watch Jujutsu Kaisen on?
I'm watching it on Crunchyroll now.
Guess I got to get a Crunchyroll account. I've been trying to hold out and just ride on Funimation, but sometimes Funimation they don't have the juice.
No. Oh, other news too. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but it's has to do with the Naruto world, right? I don't know if you guys heard about this, but specifically involving Boruto. That my boy, the legendary Kishimoto, man, he is coming back to take over Boruto. And did you guys hear about that news?
Yeah, because so I always watch two different animes. I watch one on my own that I binge, and then I watch one with my wife. And we're watching through Boruto right now, so we're looking through every article we can, reading up on it.
Man, I don't keep up with Boruto. I keep tabs on it though. Like I kind of make sure I know if there's gonna be a cool episode with the OG characters going on, like Naruto's gonna show up, and then I'll watch that episode. But other than that, I don't watch the anime at all. I don't really keep up with the manga either. Kind of same thing. If I hear some big news that's happening, I'll go in and kind of like binge read some issues real quick, but that's about it.
Yeah, you don't really watch it for this new Boruto dude. You more watch it just to see Naruto wreak some havoc on some fools as the Hokage.
Yeah. From the sounds of it too, this seems like it was kind of the original plan that he was going to eventually come back and take over. From all the articles I've read, is that he just kind of wanted a break from the series, and then like once he was ready to come back, the role was be there for him whenever. So, you know, hats off to, I think it's Kodachi, something like that. Like I said, I didn't read or watch it, but, you know, props to this man being able to, you know, step up and take over, you know, Boruto when, you know, you have a lot of like hype to live up to as far as Naruto goes. That got him back. That's off.
Well, and they just dropped that new form for Naruto. Have you seen that? It's called I can't remember what it's called. Bro.
You don't even read it, man. You don't even read it, huh? You're just over here freaking Spark Notes or whatever it's called as far as anime goes and just getting all the spoilers, huh? I already know how you roll.
He just reads the article titles on everything.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I know everything now.
So I read that. Supposedly Naruto is in a new Kurama mode. Like it's like full Kurama mode or something like that, where he's essentially using all the chakra than tails. I've seen some pictures. If that's the artwork, I think the new issue is like supposed to be released today or something. It looks pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. It looks legendary. So I'm gonna have to read that. It comes out for sure.
One of these days we're gonna have to get into why Naruto isn't the best and why I'm not a big fan. But that's a story for another day.
You talking about the anime or what are you talking about exactly?
Yeah, I'm talking about the anime.
Okay.
Not necessarily the manga, but the anime itself.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, I thought you were just talking about my boy Naruto. I was like, hey, hold up, wait a second, man. We're gonna have a problem here. Don't you ever put disrespect not on everyone's boy Naruto, man. This guy, you know, had one of the toughest bringing, like, you know, childhoods in general, like a lot of top. Like you said, that's another day.
Yeah.
We'll get into that, man. What are we leading off with today, Tyler?
All right. So right now, we're gonna kick it off. All three of us are going to go through our top 5 anime duos of all time. All right, so get ready. It's about to be hot.
Man, you know what? I'm going to let you two fight over who goes first because, you know, this is the battle of the trash can list right here. We'll hear your guys' top 5s. Go ahead.
We're going to do this round robin, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
So I'll go 5, you do 5.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Tyler, what's number 5 on your list? Working down and working
way out.
All
right, so if I'm kicking off on number 5, I'm going with Matt and Ty from Digimon Adventures. All right, and I did some.
Oh my
boy,
gosh!
Don't question
already.
me. All right, I did some research from our.
Good. Say your piece. Say your piece.
All right, so I did some research from our podcast last week, and Digimon is officially an anime, my boy. It was originated in Japan. It got adapted, so I don't want to hear that no Digimon is not an.
We were giving you a hard time on that one. We were just trying to check your knowledge.
I know, yeah. Sometimes I look like a noob, so I gotta come correct. But so I've got Matt and Ty at number 5. All right. Reason being, Digimon Adventures is by far the best Digimon anime amongst them all. And no two Digimon trainers nor Digimon went harder than Greymon and Garurumon. All right, everybody else was basically just fodder. They'd go in there, get their cheeks clapped.
Right there. That point is why you're wrong, though. Right there, right? Because you just said the best duo in Digimon, but yet you pick their trainers as the best duo.
Because they are okay. It's like if you pick. It's like
You're garbage. See, that's
like
we're about to get canceled. We might as well stop recording now and just.
So
that's it, folks. We'll see you around.
You said Matt and Ty, but then you're over here, man. Agumon and Gabumon. Let's be real. That's the duo to pick out of all Digimon. Matt and Ty, yes, they're their trainers, but that's not the duo to be. It's the actual Digimons themselves.
Nah, boy, because indirectly, Greymon and Garurumon do not exist without their trainers, right? They
exist in the Digimon
boy,
world,
but they can't fight unless they have the Digi evolution devices that allow them to Digivolve, boy. So without them, they'd be stuck at Agumon and Gabumon, the baby Digimon level. Yeah, so boy, don't question me. Don't question me, dog.
You picked this duo and these two ain't even friends for like half they don't even like each other for like the whole series.
Boy, Naruto and Sasuke don't even like each other until the last episode.
I mean,
that's a bloody lie.
Naruto loves Sasuke the whole time. Sasuke likes Naruto, but he's just going through.
I think you're forgetting about the best Digimon of all time. That's Totodile.
You would be a Totodile.
Totodile. I don't know what's going on here. All right. Well, just to wrap up my number 5 spot. Yeah, no two Digimon went harder. Also, if you've never seen the first Digimon movie, oh gosh, you got to watch that. Ty and Matt go hard. War Greymon and Metal Garurumon save the world. Clap everybody's cheeks.
Say War Greymon and Metal Garurumon as the duo, man. You can't give Matt and Ty that spotlight.
What the heck, boy?
You just can't give it to... These dudes in that whole movie weren't even friends in the beginning, if I remember correctly. And they only came together because, they're like, all right, we need to do this Digi-evolution and evolve our guys. Awful.
Let's see. We're going to find out Nick's number 5 spot. Boy, just wait till you drop your number 5. I'm about to light it up.
I'm about to show you how trash your pick just was. The number 5 on my list, fire list, Zoro and Luffy.
Oh, you know what? Go ahead, explain, and then I'll tell you what's up that you're already wrong. But go ahead.
Because you have Luffy captain, and then basically his best mate, his best swordsman Zoro, who'd literally fall on his sword and risked his life time and time again for Luffy. Like the trust they built over time. They originally started out hating each other, and just what they built over time to be this like dynamic duo of a team has been ridiculous.
Oh, you know what? And that right there is reason why that should be up higher. The fact that that's number 5. If you're comparing it with Tyler's 5, 100 times better, no doubt about it. But I gotta question who's in your top 4 now, because I'm like the best guy. The best duo. He just announced it right there. Is his number 5. So I mean, I'm curious to where you're gonna go with your list after that.
Exactly. That's where Tyler's pick doesn't even make the top 100, much less the top 5. So me starting out with this, it's just showing you how fire my list is about to be.
I'm saying, I must be missing something because those guys are up on my list. First of all, Matt and Ty, I can't even get over that, man. I gotta just ignore it. Matt and Ty. What the heck?
All right.
Oh man. All right. Zoro and Luffy, that's a good, that should be in everyone's top 5 somewhere. So respect that they made it here.
Yeah, I would say great pick. A little low on the list in my opinion, but yeah, you can't leave out Luffy and Zoro.
My top 5. Gosh. Okay. When I originally went over, what do you mean, oh God? You better settle down over there. You better sit down and hold on to your seats because this is going to be legendary, all right? This list is legendary. So I had to be honest, I kind of switched it out. I'll tell you who was originally my top 5, just because I pictured this duo maybe being the greatest duo of all time if this story ever developed, and that's Itachi and Shisui.
Ooh.
You guys gotta come on, man. That would have been the best duo ever. But so I bumped them out because I was like, well, we never really got that much of it. But I was, I think potential that those guys could have been in. So my top 5 at number 5. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going with my boys, Kakashi and Guy. Come on now.
I'm not mad at that. These
These guys are a legendary duo, you know what I mean? They dedicate episodes to these guys, just having those friendly challenges. Kakashi always does rock, paper, scissors. Guy picks the, running around and doing laps around the village and stuff like that, These guys are legendary, in that whole final arc of Naruto. They are, fighting. I think they're with each other pretty much the whole time, if I remember correctly. Like they're in the same platoon, and these guys are just kind of going at it with each other, having each other's back, scrapping. Kakashi steps up, Guy steps up, multiple occasions. Don't want to spoil anything if you guys haven't finished it, but some legendary, especially in that last season of Naruto, some legendary stuff goes down with those guys, and they just kind of put themselves, in my opinion, to being. That's what kind of put them in that this top 5 conversation, because their power ups that they got were legendary.
My problem with that pick is I feel like it's not a two-sided relationship. I don't think Kakashi even likes Guys. Guy's just obsessed with Kakashi, and Kakashi's just out there yeah, I'll tolerate you.
I see what you're saying, because you kind of do get that vibe, but Kakashi's best friend is Guy still, and this dude will admit it. He knows it's true, but Kakashi in general always kind of puts that that standoffish type of persona, where he kind of tries not showing too much emotion, but deep down we all know that's his best friend. These guys go hand in hand with each other. You know what I mean? Come on now.
Kakashi's best friend is his romance novels. I mean, let's be real.
Those are anyone's best friends. Let's be real. Come on, guys.
Basically every other person in the Naruto universe is a total douchebag. So if you have a best friend, they're usually like a Sasuke or a Kakashi. They don't even like you. They might save your life once, but they won't even meet you up to get ramen.
We go on to we should go on to number 4 right now.
All right, y'all ready?
I'm curious what you're saying. I'm not ready, because I'm you know what? Should we just throw Tyler's list out and just focus on Nick and Mike? That's kind of how I feel. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Let's get that. Time for redemption right here.
You know what? Y'all aren't ready for this one. I already know a lot of people aren't going to recognize this duo, but let me just drop it hot for you real quick. So at my number 4 spot, number 4 duo of all time, I've got Hero and Duo, the top 2 Mobile Suit Gundam from Gundam Wing. All right, now before y'all hop on and be like, where's Sasuke? Where's Naruto? All right, these 2 guys are the biggest killing machines in all of Mobile Suit Gundam history. All right, Duo, he's the pilot for the Gundam Scythe, probably the swaggiest Gundam of all time. This fool, you see nothing, it's invisible, and then you see 2 pair of green eyes light up. His scythe comes out, he slices you in half, and it's over. And then Hero, he doesn't even have to really do anything. His Gundam, he's got 2 guns, he blasts the trigger, he spins in a circle, and he can basically wipe out a whole army by himself. All right, so if y'all haven't seen Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, got to check it out. Duo and Hero basically just took on a whole army by themselves. I mean, there was 3 other guys that kind of helped them, but basically they clapped all the cheeks by themselves.
Man, first respect on your talk. Do I know who Hero and Duo is, man? Come on, no question is that. You should be disqualified again for putting disrespect on. Anyways.
I think I know where you went wrong on your list, though. You went with the top 5 guys you like, not the top 5 best guys.
He did. You know what? I like Hero and Duo I kind of like that, man. If you're a fan of Gundam, I could definitely see that being in anyone's top 5 list. Honestly, I considered putting them in my top, but I tried keeping my emotions out of it and just kind of leaving it just to the best duos in anime in general of all. I'm not mad about that pick. I'm really not.
So what you're saying is, I got a little too emotional, and I picked my 2 boys from my childhood.
I said, we're saying that, you thought with your heart, instead of with your mind. You know
That's true.
But that's, I can't claim that. I can't about. We have to talk about Gundam one of these days. That's a no-brainer. Gundam series, I feel like if you're a fan, you're a huge fan, but I feel like not that many people watch it. I feel like we need more people watching Gundam. We'll get there. We'll get there.
And you talk about not picking from the heart, but I look at my list, I'm about to do the same damn thing that you just did. Number 4 on my list, I got Kirito and Asuna. The dynamic love relationship. The dynamic swordsman. I like this pick a lot.
Man, can I just say that that's not even the best duo in all of Sword Art anymore. Now that this new season came out, that's like Tyler's Matt and Ty pick, first of all. You didn't even pick the best duo in that anime. Man. Okay. You know what? I like.
But talk about a female who can compete with the main character.
That is true.
She's one that actually steps up, gets in there, risks her life, and it's a pretty darn good swordsman too.
if we're talking about top 5 couples, I don't think I could argue about that, man. But duos, I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying. I can't argue at it because you remember that one episode where they're the ones who join, you know, in the original first season where they join together and they have their 2-man party. I mean, that right there is enough to put them in, you know, in conversation for the. I mean, I'm not too mad about that.
Just because you're talking about SAO, you're not just talking about Kirito.
Yeah.
It takes both of them to make that show. That's true. And I think that's why they made this list.
I agree. That's a good one. But you know what I'm saying is after this passing that, you know, I think, you know, instead of putting Austin, you got to put my boy Yu-Gi-Oh there. Yu-Gi-Oh.
That is true.
That dude is a legend, man. That relationship that they got. Because, you know, the crazy part about, like, that whole last season is they really focused on that relationship between those two. And I kind of feel like that's what catapulted that over Asuna. Because, you know, obviously, you know, after that first season, Kirito and Asuna, you know, develop more feelings for each other. And then they kind of focus on their like, essentially their love life, their relationship. And they got away from that dynamic, you know, swordsman duo like you were talking about. But that's a good pick, though. It's still a good pick regardless.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that pick. I mean, I would definitely put Kirito and Asuna if we were doing top 5 anime couples. I mean, they definitely got one of the best romances among anime. Sword Art for me is just not one of my top tier animes, so that's why I wouldn't put them in my top 5, but I'll give that pick respect because they do go pretty hard in that show.
How do you not like Sword Art?
You know what?
How do you not like Sword Art?
Let me explain this to you guys. The first 2 seasons were fire, but when they got to Sword Art Online 2, when they start the first half using guns and then the second half they're just lollygagging and drinking lattes, I was like, I'm out. Now I heard this last season was fire, so it might wrap it, it might bring me back in, but right now I'd have to put Sword Art like just above mid tier for me.
I said we disagree with Tyler. Just a thought. I mean, we'll keep on going with the list, but you know, if we need to at some point mute him when he speaks, we can we do that? Is that possible on this edge?
Yeah, the last episode I just deleted his audio file, so there's just nothing there.
It's just random talking between us two, and there's like no other fillers to talk about. So back to the God tier list. That's right, I said it.
Wow.
Anyways, number 4. Honestly, picking between 2, 3, and 4 is kind of tricky. I feel like they could have been like swapped easily. But I got Gon and Killua. Hunter x Hunter. Throw respect on these two. These two with their journey, man, when they first meet, they kind of had like an instant connection. You know, they're essentially best friends throughout this whole series. Both of them are beasts too, and they scrap, man. They get down. You know what I mean? Always coming out on top. You know, they always had each other's back, and I think the specific moments when Gon will be like, you know, Killua's my best friend, and Killua gets all happy right there. It's kind of, I'm like, you know what? That's the relationship that catapults in this top 5 list.
Yeah, if you're looking at like the sketchy best friend, Killua's definitely up there as one of my favorites. So I like that pick a lot between those two.
And I feel like they're legit friends too. They're boys. They have each other's back, look out for each other. It's not like a Naruto or Sasuke, type of relationship where it is like legit one-sided there for pretty much the whole series. But I feel like, it's like, Killua definitely has like mysterious dark side, but he recognizes that Gon is his best friend, and they get down, that's for sure.
And to me, they're both on pretty even levels of power. Like if they were actually to go at it, I don't know if they could have put that in there.
I was gonna say,
I don't know who would win in that fight.
That's a debate topic right there, huh? Who wins, Gon versus Killua? I have no idea. To me, I always feel like I lean towards the main characters, like essentially Gon in this point, like 90% of the time. But I don't know, Killua's kind of different, man. I feel like he'd be the one. That's a different topic.
Yeah, but talk about two guys with power. These guys are that's an awesome duo.
I mean, I don't know if anybody in anime is more ride or die than Killua. That dude, he is down for the cause. And I mean, there's not too many people in anime where when the main character is about to clap someone's cheeks, that a homie can just put his hand on his shoulder and be like, Gon, just chill, bro. Let's go get some donuts and a cup of coffee. And Gon's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're cool. But yeah, Gon and Killua, they're actually homies. And I hope Hunter x Hunter comes back, because I still don't think we've seen Killua's full potential yet. But yeah, respect to Gon and Killua. That's a fire pick. I can't hate on that.
Did he just say X?
Damn. Number three for Tyler. What you got for us, man?
Okay, now I really know y'all aren't ready for this one. All right.
Everyone, hold on to your seats because that means it's gonna be a trash pick.
Okay, and my first two picks. Okay, yeah, they're kind of garbage, but this third pick, no, you can't hate on it. Okay, so number 3, my duo is Yusuke Urameshi and Kuwabara from Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, Nick, I don't know if Nick's seen this anime, maybe not, but I know Nogs knows what I'm talking about. All right,
this is a good duo. I really like this pick. I'm kind of stoked that you got Yu Yu Hakusho in there, but in all honesty, I don't know if this is the best duo in this anime.
Okay, so I kind of know where you're going. I feel like you might be thinking Yusuke and Hiei. Is that what you're gonna say?
Hiei.
Okay. See, and I've heard that argument before, but for me, I gotta put Yusuke and Kuwabara number 3 because these guys literally start off as just high school rivals. They're throwing blows in the parking lot. They're beating each other up in the alleys. They're playing bodies in between classes. And these guys, they just climb the ladder, start taking out demons, and then before you know it, Yusuke is the king of the demon realm. And unfortunately, Kuwabara, he wasn't powerful enough to make it to the to the last arc. Kuwabara,
did this dude just bash on his
Kuwabara, he's actually not that strong, but these guys, they started off as rivals. They're ride or die in the dark tournament. And I gotta say, our boy Kuwabara, he stepped up in the dark tournament. He thought he was gonna die. He kind of almost did die, but he got the job done. So.
Man, I'm just a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho, so I'm not going to bag on this pick too much. I personally think Hiei and Kurama are a slightly better duo just because kind of like what you were saying is how kind of like the power difference between Yusuke and Kuwabara is. It's a pretty big difference, but I feel like between Kurama and Hiei, that's like closer, so I think that makes them a stronger duo, more powerful. Hiei always he's that standoffish type of character too, where he act like he doesn't like anyone, but Kurama's boy, and I feel like they get down. I think as far as friendships go, Yusuke and Kuwabara, man, that one's up there. That's a really good one, but I like the pick. That's all I'm gonna say. I like the.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. I think Kuwabara and Hiei, or Kuwabara and Yusuke, it's almost like Goku and Krillin.
Yeah, that's kind of like what it is. That's a good comparison. That's a really good one.
All right, Nick.
All right. First up, number 3 on my spot. I got Maka and Soul from Soul Eater. I mean, you have the Scythe and the Scythe Wielder. You have left brain and right brain. You got one guy who's really laid back, and then you have Maka, who's more like hardworking and push forward. I like this duo a lot just because the dynamic between the sword and the sword wielder, or the scythe and the scythe wielder.
Honestly, that's a pretty good pick. I think that one, it's not a bad duo pick at all. For me, putting that in the top 5 might stretch, but kind of, it's hard to argue with what you said. I mean, that whole that's pretty spot on. Maka.
It's another one, like I said, you can't have one without the other. You can't have just the weapon. You can't just have just the sword wielder. There's no way that they would exist within this anime without each other. And I think that's why they're on this list.
That's a really good duo. That's why it's hard to argue that. I just feel like the better duos there, but that's a good pick, man. That whole reasoning right there is it's hard to.
I mean, that is the way you explain it, Nick. I gotta say that's a pretty good. They are a fire duo, I think. See, my problem is I think I was putting too much personal preference in here. But for me, Soul Eater. It's a really good anime. I think just because I don't put it like in my top tier anime, I can't put them in my top 5. But I gotta say, the way you explain it, if you're talking about two people that just truly cannot fight without each other, I mean that's definitely two of the best characters that rely on each other. Oh gosh. Okay.
We're getting into your top 3 here. Let's see what you got.
Top 3, man. This is kind of tough. This between my second spot and my third spot was a toss up. I ended up going on the 7 deadly sins, the sin of wrath, the sin of greed, my boys, Sir Meliodas and Bon. Talk about two dudes, yet again, who are like best friends, but who get down with each other. You know what I mean? They're there. They have each other's back. They scrap. You know what I mean? They fight all the strong in the series, and I couldn't leave them off my list. You know what I mean? Especially in that, like, was it 2? Where is it season 2? You guys correct me. Where Meliodas starts kind of reverting back to his demon's way. And then, like, he destroyed that one demon. I'm forgetting the demon's name now. But then, like, you know, Bond was kind of, like, worried a little bit. Hey, Captain, you all right? You know what I mean? That right there, I was like, man, that's how you know they're legit boys. You know, they kind of, you know, have that weird relationship where they love fighting each other more than anything. And they're able to, though, because, like, Bond's able to, like, re-heal, obviously. So Meliodas just kind of murders. But these...
Well, and then the fact that Bond was trying to murder Meliodas at the end of season 1, and Meliodas, he's just cool. He's like, it's all right, bro. Yeah, you're being a fool, but it's all right. We're still boys. Like, that's how you know those guys. Those guys are brothers.
All right, maybe all right. I got you. Just trust me.
And they just have so much history together. They were friends for what, 500 years? Something like that.
I forgot about that
when you've been around that long and you're still boys, that's crazy.
There's nothing beating it. I don't know if you guys have read the manga, but like that kind of just like, for me, I've kind of like just, that solidified my pick of them being in a top 3. Is when these guys go to the demon world, man, and Bond, you know what? He's like, I got my boys back. I'm hopping in there, even though his technically body was supposed to be destroyed. He gets his nasty power up. I ain't gonna dive too much into it because I don't want to spoil it. It is legendary. I'll tell you what, top tier. And
you know, the farther we go along, the more I'm regretting my list. But
that's what he said. You know, we should have been more specific. We could have said like, hey, what is our like top 5, like our favorite, you know, top 5 duos? Because that honestly would slightly be different. It would be slightly different for me, rather than if I'm just kind of going from like a neutral perspective, like just the top 5 duos, you know, of like all time and like all of anime, rather than my favorite duos. Slightly different, it is. But I mean, you can't, man. Emotional attachment to some. It's hard to pick against those guys. Yeah, what's wrong with?
Well, I think I'm gonna redeem myself once I drop my top 2.
I mean, you're running out of picks, so hopefully you got 2 more. So hopefully you come in clean with 1.
All right, y'all ready? You ready for this? You ready for number 2 spot? Okay.
Top 2. Who is the scrub picking?
All right, so number 2. You know what? There's no shame in my game in this pick. This is undeniable. My number 2 duo of all time. This was Nick's number 5, but I'm going Luffy and Rowan Noah mother effing Zoro, bro. Oh god,
Zoro, let's get it.
The kids ain't ready.
That's what I like to hear. Come on, man. The boys are back in town. You know what I'm saying? I love that,
bro. These guys, they start off first episode. Zoro's tied up by the Navy. He's on death's door. He's ready to die. Luffy's like, hey, bro, are you here for a long time or a good time? Let's get it. He grabs Zoro. They start the Straw Hat Pirates. And then from there, it's just a non-stop cheek clapping sesh from our boy Monkey D. Luffy
Mugiwara
and Rowan Noah Zoro. You got the future king of the pirates and the future greatest swordsman of all time.
Let's go. Come on,
and bro, as we get into the new world, like Zoro has yet to sweat. He comes out, Fishman Island.
What?
Not even a problem. He goes to Dressrosa. He's like, oh, Pika, yeah, come here, boy. Boop, boop, slices him up like an onion. Whole Cake Island arc, they say, bro, don't even bring Zoro, because Big Mom's probably going to get clapped if we bring Zoro. Just let him go train. And then as we get into Wano, I mean, I don't want to spoil the Wano arc too much. Low-key, I haven't even seen the Wano arc. You know, I've seen spoilers, but that, needless to say, we have still not seen Zoro even challenged yet since they've, you know, came back from the time skip. So when all is said and done, I mean, Zoro and Luffy might be the best duo of all time, but right now I am comfortable putting them at my number 2 spot.
Oh, I love it, man.
I'm really glad
legendary
somebody else picked this duo too. And it's surprising that this is the first time our list has overlapped. But I think they would be higher up on my list if I was farther along. I think I'm only on episode like 230 or something like that.
That's fair. I didn't think you
so the farther we go along, I'll see this relationship
You're in
develop
for a treat,
more,
Nick.
Glad to see it was picked.
Honestly, I think that's one, like, I mean, you talk about, like, this essentially the second dude, right? The second part of these duos, in this case, Zoro. He has, like, unwavering faith in our boy Luffy. You know, some of these duos, it kind of goes back and forth, you know, but this dude is ride or die from the beginning. Doesn't even fight with his captain. You know, some of these duos, they have, like, that friendly competition, fight each other. Not with Zoro, man. This Zoro's like, nah, this is my boy Luffy. Whatever, he's my captain. Whatever he says, goes. And that's what, Gosh, that's what gets about Zoro.
Bro, and I'll just finish off with this. There's really nothing else that Zoro even cares about besides being the best swordsman on Earth, except for keeping his word to his captain. I mean, he doesn't give a F about anything except for being his captain's boy and becoming the greatest swordsman. So I got to give respect to that.
Love the pick. Nick, your chance to redeem yourself too.
Here we go. Number 2 on my list. I got Bakugo and Midoriya. Zuko Midoriya from My Hero.
What do you mean? Ooh,
I just see
that's a terrible
there's
pick.
so much potential.
What the heck?
Are you kidding me?
What the fudge?
You how do you not see the potential in these two guys? Did you not watch My Hero Rising last year in 2019?
Yeah, I did. Okay, yes, we did see that. But,
okay, so if you see
say your piece,
My
man.
Hero,
I'll get you, man. Say your piece first, though.
if you watch Heroes Rising from My Hero, you see the potential in these two guys that as they grow up and get older, they're only going to go stronger together, and these guys are going to be absolutely savage when they start fusing and bonding their powers together. So it's not necessarily where they are at right now in the show, it's where they are going within the next few seasons.
That's fair, but do we really think they're going to be a duo when they're older? Or is it going to be like a All Might and Endeavor type of thing? That's what I feel like it's going to be. It's like an All Might Endeavor type of thing. They're going to, obviously there's going to be that one villain, right, where they probably will have to come together again, but like, you know what I mean? Let's be real. Bakugo hates Midoriya. This dude hates him, man. Hates him with a passion.
Hate is only one step from love. That's all I gotta say. These dudes are gonna be boys. That's all I'm saying. I'm hoping for it. I want to see it.
Midoriya loves him. I agree. Talk about this super one-sided one. Boy, you're gonna hate on my Kakashi and Guy pick. This is not even one side. This is like Midoriya loves Bakugo, and Bakugo legit just hates him. He just like looks at Midoriya and gets disgusted. Like if you're talking about like in the future, will these two hands down probably be the best two heroes? I mean, I don't know. I feel like Bakugo might, he's like 1 inch away from being a villain in this show, but they definitely have the potential to be the best two heroes. But man, as a duo, I don't know, man. I feel like this guy missed the mark on this one.
All I'm saying is go watch My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Didn't we watch that one together?
Yeah.
That was a good one, man. And is that even canon? Is that canon?
No, it's not.
What the heck? That's okay. All right. You know what, Tyler? Your list is officially, the second best now.
You know what? I kind of feel like when Midoriya and Deku team up, it's almost like when Hisoka teamed up with Killua and Gon and Hunter. Hold up, bro.
Midoriya and Deku are the same guy.
Bakugo.
This dude just said Midoriya and Deku.
Oh shoot! Okay, no, what I meant.
What is going on
Gosh
here?
dang it! I need to have another cup of coffee. No, okay. What I'm saying is Bakugo, bro. This guy's like low key a villain. Like he's got to really prove himself before I'm gonna say he's duo material. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, you do get hyped when you see Bakugo and Deku team up, but I don't know if I'd say they're a duo yet. I don't know. I think it's kind of up in the air. Like Bakugo, he might be he could become a terror or a villain in the next couple seasons. I don't know.
The vibe I'm getting, Bakugo has a soft heart. He's just got some anger problems. Like he's gonna be punching holes in the drywall. But if he can get out of that phase,
and his anger problem,
he's gonna be a great hero.
His anger problem, Midoriya. This dude hates Midoriya. That's his anger problem. That's how you know it's a terrible duo. Man, unpopular opinion, or it might be a popular opinion. Lemillion, my boy Lemillion should have got All Might's power and the best hero, and the series would be over.
You know how savage that would be if he actually got that power? Because he's so pure-hearted and hardworking.
And he's a legend without that power. Man.
He would almost be at his level without the one for all power.
I know,
imagine if he had it.
This dude, he'd probably be like right there, like not at All Might's level, but like if he had that power, like you wouldn't have to worry about it, right? Like there would be no worries of like cultivating Midoriya into like, getting to where essentially All Might's at. You would essentially have All Might, the second coming of All Might and Lemillion, like hands down. And, this dude was only getting stronger. And I ain't going to spoil anything, but no. I just want to...
All right. Who you got as number 2 on your pick?
Whose turn is it?
Let's
Is
see
it my
what you
turn?
got.
Yeah.
I'll drop some.
Oh, no.
All right, at number 2. All right, I got to go Full Metal Alchemist, obviously Brotherhood. Not the anime, but like the characters. My boys, the Alric brothers. My boy Ed and Al, man. Those two, come on. At number 2. First of all, this whole anime is about these two brothers, like, you know, having each other's back the whole time. Scrapping with the villains in order, you know, try to get Al's body back and all that good fun. Legendary. Change my mind. Change it.
You want to talk about a one-sided relationship?
What? Oh, gosh. You talking about one-sided?
So first of all, I like that pick. Jealous of that pick. But just to try to play devil's advocate.
Of course.
How is Al actually putting in the same amount of work as Ed is throughout this show? The only reason Al is existing is from Ed's blood.
You know,
right now.
I mean, yes, that is true, but come on, man. It's technically, you know, you put it back, you could blame it on Ed that Al doesn't have a body. You got to show, you know, and Al's doing what he can, man, and he puts it down. He's come up clutch. You know, the reason why it's at number 2 for me, because there's multiple times in the anime where Al just comes up clutch, has some big moments that kind of catapults it into that number 2 spot for me. I won't go into details. I don't want to spoil anything, but you know, come on, man. This is like one of the few animes that legit revolves around two brothers, you know, hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like you're essentially both main characters almost. Of course, Ed is kind of is more of the main one than anything, but you know, the whole story revolves around both of them together. You know, without one, you can't have the other. Legit I mean, it's just not the same story in Full Metal Alchemist that, you know, if one is gone or versus the other, man. It's just, come on. It's brotherly love right there. What else can you say? That's ultimate duos right there.
I mean, if I was making a top 5 anime brothers of all list, they might be 1 or 2.
Coming from the guy who's like, I'm going to make the top 5 list of my favorite, you know, I'm going to pick with my heart. I'm gonna pick Ty and Matt at number 5. Get the heck out of here, boy! You want to pick Ty and Matt, and then you're gonna critique this.
Okay, this is my only critique. Great duo, amazing brothers, but I kept waiting for Al to do something with that suit of armor. I'm like, boy, what are you doing over here? Are you gonna actually put in some work, or are you just gonna keep getting wrecked? Because every episode it was Edward would have to come in and save him, would have to put him back together, get the glue and the duct tape.
That's what I'm saying.
Man, you guys gotta cut my boy Al some slack, man. He doesn't even have a body. You guys want him to be scrap? He literally is just a suit of armor. How is this boy supposed to scrap when he ain't got no body?
He said, how am I supposed to scrap when I'm only scrap?
You know what? That offended me, but that was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, that was a good one. You know what? You know, the disrespect coming pick, you know, it's unbelievable right now. But, you know, I'll let it slide.
And let's be honest, I like that pick. I'm just trying to trash on you to make my list look a little better.
Yeah, I'm trying to pad my stats, but that's a good pick.
Before we get into these number 1s, we'll talk about where we all went wrong. Tyler went wrong with number 5, so I mean, he was lost from the beginning.
I might even say number 4.
Nick, man, you lost it with that number 2 pick, man, with Bakugo Midoriya. You know, other than that, you had some potential right there, man, but no. Number 1, though. Apparently, I lost bagging on my boy Al.
All right.
Drum roll, please.
Man.
I don't know. I'm expecting something trash from Tyler, so I'm like on the edge, you know what I mean? I want to get hyped, but I'm like, this dude might just disappoint me right now, so we'll see.
If he picks Ash and Pikachu, I'm going to flip this table and walk out.
That was better than Matt and Ty. Ash and Pikachu better than Matt and Ty. Let's be real, man. This dude would pick like Charizard and Ash. You know, Charizard just hates him too.
Bro, I'm about to pick like Squirtle and Ash.
Number 1 pick. Squirtle and Ash.
All right. Are y'all ready for this?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Man. When we chose this topic, I already knew these two bad mother effers were going to be number 1.
Who you going with?
And we're coming in with Goku and the Prince of All Saiyans, Vegeta. All right, now.
Gosh, at number 1.
Goku and Vegeta. All right, so, man, what else do you have to say? These guys, they've dominated anime for coming up on 30 years plus. Started in the late 80s, killed it in the 90s. Dragon Ball Super came back. They've dropped movie after movie after movie, just clapping everybody's cheeks. They said Super Saiyan 1, that's cool. Super Saiyan 2, that's cute. Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta said, I skipped that. Super Saiyan 4, all right. Let's just go straight to Super Saiyan God. Bro, I think is hands down best duo of all time. You put Goku and Vegeta together, they're killing everybody. Sometimes they gotta even fuse. And they'll be like, it's all right. We'll combine our powers and then we'll body you. But I mean, I don't think there's even an argument. But if I'm picking number one spot, best duo of all time, Goku and Vegeta.
You know what? If you were picking like potentially the two strongest people in anime, that duo is easily on the list. But we're picking the best duo. That doesn't just mean in power level, man. First of all, Vegeta hates Goku.
Bro.
Vegeta hates Goku. Has been jealous with him all of Dragon Ball Z. Okay, they semi-like each other in like Dragon Ball Super, but let's be real. Who really counts Super as part of Dragon, canon? Like, come on now. Like, that was like 40 years later when we're already grown. Vegeta hates Goku, and it's always, and there's just no true friendship right there, man.
What?
Like, Goku doesn't really care. Goku doesn't really care, right? He likes Vegeta, obviously, but doesn't really care if Vegeta hates him or not. Vegeta pretty much doesn't like Goku. He's always trying to compete with Goku. He's jealous of Goku. How is that a duo, man? This dude just has envy for Goku the whole time.
Oh, exactly. Gosh.
Right?
Bro, how...
And like even when they fuse together, right? When they are legit become one, you're like, this is a nasty duo, right? Their fusion is the best, but... I mean, come on, let's be real. Vegeta didn't want to fuse with him at all, and he thought the dances were embarrassing, and he never wanted to, put the ring on, in all those movies and stuff like that. And honestly, this ain't even the best duo in Dragon Ball Z either. Their sons are a better duo than these two, man. Goten and Trunks are a better duo than these two, man. Way better duo.
Trunks and Goten are for the birds. Dude, Vegeta, he doesn't like anybody. He doesn't even like his own wife. He doesn't even like his own kids. So when you consider the amount of time he actually spends with Goku, that's his boy. He might low-key love Goku.
They don't even spend time with each other, man. They're only around each other because they love fighting. That's the only thing they have in common is that's just the Saiyan race in general. These guys love scrapping, and that's about it. But come on, man. Their sons have a better dynamic, better duo dynamic, and are a legit duo than those two. Their fusion just as good as their fusion, and these little kids scrapped with freaking Boo, man. Come on now.
Man, this is blasphemy right now. I don't even know what to say.
Like I said, don't get me wrong. I love, Vegeta and Goku, man. Vegeta, that's, they're legendary. But, man, has a duo. Come on, like Chaozu and Tien is a better duo than those two.
Oh, my God.
They got each other's back. Dude, you can't tell me 100% that Goku and Vegeta have each other's back.
Chiatsu.
Goku doesn't...
I can see how they make each other stronger, though.
Yeah.
Because Vegeta's only drive is to get stronger because of Goku. Without Goku being around, would Vegeta be as strong as he is?
Well, and think about it. All of Vegeta's...
Nah, probably not.
All of his character development was because of Goku. Like, if he comes on Earth and just kills Goku, he's just a villain forever. But because of Goku, he ends up becoming the second greatest hero of Earth and the Prince.
No, man. I just like I said, man. First of all, Goku doesn't even have his sons back. This dude straight up said, Sal, you want a senzu bean? Boom. Now go scrap my son. You know what I'm saying? This dude, and then Vegeta gets mollywopped by Sal too, because this dude has a sense, just mollywops everyone. It's like, come on now. Goku just cares about fighting. He don't really care about Vegeta, and vice versa. Vegeta just cares about being stronger than Goku care about. It's a terrible duo. It's a good duo. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, let's see what y'all got at your number one spot. I'm interested to hear this.
Hold up.
Here's the best friends.
I'm nervous about
Me
next
too.
pick. I'm nervous about this one. Go ahead.
We're talking about the strongest duo of all time.
Uh-oh.
We're talking Man and Beast, Dragon and Cat. I'm talking Natsu, Dragmeal, and Happy from Fairy Tail.
What?
Oh, gosh.
Talk about two absolute superpowers. Happy scraps into every fight, even though he has almost absolutely no power besides flying, and he's still flying in there getting burnt up for his boy Natsu. I gotta love that Man and Beast relationship they have in this one, like a dog and his best friend.
What the heck? This dude picked a pet and a
How can you
person.
tell me that these guys are not, their love of food alone drives this friendship?
That's
talk
just,
about
first
the
of all,
best duo.
how are we gonna just diss on Tyler and say he was gonna pick Ash and Pikachu, and then you just go pick Natsu and Happy, bro? Ash and Pikachu.
Are you comparing Happy to Pikachu right
First
now?
of all,
Happy is 1,000 times better.
Pikachu actually scraps. He's actually in there just dancing, man. Happy
But that's why Happy is so good, because he has absolutely no power, but he has absolutely no fear either.
I mean,
he's flying straight
Happy's
up
like a
in there.
backpack.
I can't respect it.
He basically just lets Natsu
duo.
fly.
I'm saying Natsu could not have saved the world if it wasn't for Happy.
Okay.
Oh, man. At your number 1 pick, this should have been like number 5.
That's my number 1.
This should have been like number 5. Number 1. I mean,
that's showing you how I picked what I liked,
love
right?
Natsu and Happy. I mean, kind of like what you're saying though. Remember that one time when they were fighting that Dark Guild and that dude's about to blow himself up? And our boy Happy just goes in there, picks him up, flies him up in the air, saves Natsu, Lucy, and who else was with him? I think Wendy at the time. That part right there, kind of, I could respect him being in a conversation of like top duos, but at number 1's pretty crazy. It's a pretty insane list right there. But man, there's moments where I can see what you're saying though, that where Happy does come up clutch, and one of those is when he essentially saves him. And he put his life on the line and he blew up. Remember when he got that afro? That part was hilarious, and his hair looked terrible. Terrible pick at number 1.
I guess I picked this at number 1 just strictly based on the bond between each other, not necessarily their power.
Yeah.
But just what they do for each other.
I was gonna say terrible pick at number 1. In general, is a pretty solid pick.
Yeah.
Because in all honesty, I feel like we could pick like Natsu and Gajil or something like that, because they have fought together, and there's actually some as far as Gray.
Yeah, Natsu and Gray
would have been a really good one. Boy, Happy though, that's like that's like a number 1 pick for your best like pet and main character. You'd have like Natsu and Happy, and then Ash and Pikachu,
and then Meliodas and Hog.
Exactly. That would be.
All right, you're trashing our list. Let's see what you got. What's the actual number 1 pick?
Well, no surprise, because I think you guys took it out, but we've heard this. And then this is the only other time where our list overlapped. Now that I think about it, but so I mean, there's not much to say about it. But it should be at number 1, and that is our boy Luffy, his second mate, the second in command, Zoro. Yeah. Man, hands down, right? One Piece is probably the GOAT of all animes. I don't care what any of you guys say out there, and you guys know it's the greatest anime of all time. And if you haven't watched it and you're a big anime, come on now, you guys are gonna have to be real. Do you have to watch it? No, because you guys probably got you guys did your time and put all the work into watching it. But if you want to watch the best anime of all time, you gotta watch. Let's be real, you gotta watch arguably the best MC of all time, and then of course the second best character too, in Zoro. Man, kind of like what Tyler was saying, hyping my boy up. First of all, we don't even know Zoro's power limit. So for him to be like second in charge, the second mate of the Mugiwara Pirates, is insane, because this dude just sliced up Pika without even having to work, and now we're kind of seeing some good scraps with him now, so it's gonna be interesting. Wano arc, so it's interesting. And then first of all, what catapulted this to be number 1 is when Zoro took Luffy's pain. I don't know if you guys remember that episode after that Gecko Moria arc, I think is what it was, if I remember correctly. But all that pain, you remember he just said, you know what, this dude knocks out Sanji. Because that's how you know Zoro's right. You're right. Zoro's like the vice captain, second in command, hands down, because he's looking out after all his mates. He knocks out Sanji. He's like, boy, I got this, man. I'm number 2, not you. You're 3 or 4, if that. And then he, over there, takes all of his captain's pain, man. This dude just hopped into it, grabbed all of Luffy's pain, just took massive amount of just like pain and blood splattering everywhere. This dude took it like a man and was just standing there like nothing happened.
And that's literally what he says. Sanji asks him, Zoro, what happened? He's got his arms folded. He says, nothing happened, boy.
Nothing. That's what I'm saying, boy. You already know what it is. Come on, man. So the fact that, I mean, these two, and then like that one part where what's his name? Usopp. When Usopp over there throwing a fit because, their ship is broken and, they kind of made the decision to get rid of it, and he's throwing the fit and essentially wants to fight Luffy. But then, everyone's being weak and like, oh no, let Usopp back on, or like just, let him have his way. And Zoro's like, oh, heck no, man. Ain't no one disrespecting my captain. I don't care who it is. No one disrespecting my captain. If you guys want to disrespect him, y'all can leave, man. I ain't going to have that on here. This dude stood up for Luffy, man. Because obviously Luffy's like, he's still kind of like a young kid, and he just doesn't know essentially how to really be a captain yet. So I think Zoro's just like such an important part of that too, because he's helping him learn too. Like, hey, you can't have disrespect on a pirate ship among like your crewmates, especially towards the captain. Help Luffy grow as a captain. Help Luffy grow stronger too, man. Number 1, hands down.
Man, I can't even hate. That's a great pick. I give that a round of applause.
Let's go. I mean, that's the one pick where I think all of ours overlapped,
Yeah.
right? Nick had it at 5, you had it at 2, and I put it at 1.
Yeah, I think that's the only one.
That goes to show you right here. Literally, it's gonna be hard to beat these guys, and it's still going too. Like a lot of these animes we named have peaked already. So for all we know, in 10 years there might be other duos that come along and push some of these guys out. But Zoro and Luffy, I mean, shoot, One Piece is probably not gonna be over. Let's be real. Let's be real. In 10 years it might not be over. So all they're gonna grow together, which is legendary. So had to do it at number 1.
All right, Tyler, recap your list. What regrets do you have?
Everything. So first of all, I should have put. You know what? I probably should have put Luffy and Zoro number 1. I still stand pretty strong with Goku and Vegeta. I don't care what anybody says. I'd put them comfortably at number 2. Number 3, you know what? Maybe I should have done Hiei and Kurama, but I still like Kuwabara and Yusuke. Number 4, you know what? Even though I love Duo and Hero, I think I probably could have put I could have put a better slot in at number 4. And then 5, okay, Matt and Ty are the best duo in Digimon of all time. Honestly, my list was pretty garbage. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I guess you ain't getting no votes.
Oh man! Everyone who's gonna potentially listen and watch Tyler self-destruct himself. This dude came in confident, hot, and now at the end he's like, my list was awful.
Yeah.
All right, recapping my list. Number 5, I got Zoro and Luffy. Then I got Kirito and Asuna, Maka and Soul, Bakugo and Midoriya, and Natsu and Happy. I think my regrets, though, is how did Ichigo and Rukia not make any of our lists? I thought that was a pretty dynamic duo that no one had. It should have been at least down there somewhere. So I think there's some honorable mentions out there.
There's definitely some. It's hard. I mean, I think if you really love Bleach, and you kind of got caught up in those like big 3 animes, like when Bleach, Naruto was coming, and then One Piece, obviously, I feel like you kind of would like. I kind of thought about it for a second. I was like, Ichigo and Rukia would be solid one to pop in, but just didn't quite make the list over those other guys. But that would have been a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, I love Bleach. I think for me personally, though, I just feel like Ichigo is so far above all of his allies, aside from the captains, but the captains aren't necessarily his homies. I mean, maybe you can make an argument for like Ichigo and Renji, but yeah, Rukia and Ichigo, that's a pretty solid duo.
On to I had at number 5, it was Kakashi and Guy. To throw some love for Naruto. Definitely wasn't gonna pick Naruto or Sasuke. We could all agree that was anime. Number 4, I had Gon and Killua. Number 3, I had Meliodas and Ban. Number 2, I had the Alric brother, Ed and Al. And number 1, I had Zoro. Legendary list. I think all of our lists were pretty solid. I don't think Tyler's was bad at all. I like how he picked kind of like what animes resonated with him a lot when growing up. I appreciate that list. I mean, I love that you tossed Hero duo and showing some Gundam love right there. Never go wrong. I think Nick had a good one in Maka and Soul. That we saw that one flying about the sword wielder and sword. It's hard to beat that. I think we all.
Yeah, I like that everyone kind of took a different approach. It seemed like Nick's list was very like the duos, they relied on each other. Maka and Soul, they really need each other to operate. Happy and Natsu, they need each other to operate. Kirito and Asuna. So I like the way he took it. We each kind of brought a different flair with our list.
But we want some input from the audience too. Go ahead and hop on our Twitter page and vote on who had the best list. And if you got a better one, go ahead and leave it in the comments too. Tyler, where can you find us on socials?
Instagram and Twitter, you can find us at Fat Bois Anime. Boys is BOIS. Anime. No numbers, no signs, just Fat Boys Anime. Twitter and Instagram. But if you put Pikachu and Ash in the comments, I'm gonna delete it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, man. It's some legendary stuff. Tell us why we're all trash. Don't hold back on a bunch. As you can tell, we trashed on each other's list. So give it back. That's what this anime is about, man. We're here to have that fun experience. Everyone has a different experience out there. So, and watching different emotional to these duos that we talked about. Let us know. Let these guys know too on why my list.
All right. Hey, thanks for listening today. Today we did our top 5 anime duos of all time. Next week we're going to do our versus matchup with Kira from Death Note and Zero from Code Geass, all right? Like and subscribe on Instagram, Twitter at Fat Boys Anime. That's Fat Boys BOIS Anime. All right? Y'all have a good one. Thanks for listening.